Well, it's quite interesting how some people come to the realization that it can't amount to anything and they don't understand that anything is possible, regardless of who you are, where you are, what you're doing. It, it's a matter of just wanting to succeed and wanting to be something that is more than what you are right now. I've found over the many years that I've struggled that as long as I put myself first to succeeding, I will succeed. And it sounds a bit selfish if you really think about it, but at the same time, everyone's out for their own better being and their own personal successes. And of course, there's many people, and I include myself, as people who care and they truly understand and honestly want people to succeed as well. But at the same time, you have to realize that you have to look out for yourself. No one else is obligated to do that but you. And as we move into 2017 and as we move into different, times in this world, especially politically, as well as a number of other things such as how we look at things overseas, the Middle East, and things like that. It's just it's a world that we 50 years ago didn't envision being the case. But interestingly, when we look back at history and we look at some of the most successful people, we realize that if it's those people who rose ahead of everyone else and they really left an impression on the world. And one of the things that you look at that has a key success factor behind that is their willingness to persevere and their willingness to not give up and not care what other people feel is going to be the result of their actions. I look back many years ago. I was in school, in college in fact. Was really excited to be in the engineering program. I was, let's say 19 years old, I believe. And interestingly, as successful as I was in high school, and mind you, this is about 12 years ago now. Mind you, in high school I was a 4.0 student, and I felt that my successes were going to be driven on my prior abilities and my prior successes in school. But in all reality, what's interestingly is that didn't pan out. I got a little excited, got out to school, made friends with some people who were less than inclined to do the right things, and I got mixed up with doing things that I thought were more fun than going to school. And needless to say, after 2 semesters out there, I had to drop out because I wasn't allowed to keep going to that school. And I look back at that, and I realize that you can have those lows, and you can have those highs. And those highs come when you feel good about those lows and how you made them better. And I say that with a simple thing in mind. You can make mistakes, you can go out and cause problems, but you'll never better yourself, and you'll never become something if you don't look back on those and learn from them. Now, a lot of this sounds like common sense, right? And a lot of this is something that I'd say many of you have probably heard from infomercials or friends, mentors, and all those things. And it's interesting that a lot of this stuff isn't new. But it's interesting to hear it from a different perspective. We look at the ones on YouTube and all these things, we have that Ty Lopez guy and some of these other people who they show your successes and they kind of flaunt those things to say this is what you can become if you do these things. And a lot of these things are things they're trying to sell to you, of course. And I'm not coming here to tell you anything that I'm not trying to sell anything to you. I don't have anything to sell. Unless you want to buy some shoes from me. It's one of my small little habits that I have. But it's not that I have all these wonderful things and want to flaunt it. In fact, I don't. But I strive to become better. And I never stop. You know, it's interesting. A few years ago, after I got out of the military, I saw a lot of people who were getting out of the Marine Corps as well, and they kind of just gave the cold shoulder to a lot of what they were telling you at the end. Oh, get out, do this, become someone, but don't go and be lazy. Don't go back to what you used to do. Go home and take advantage of those things that you're given now, school and other opportunities. But a lot of people, they didn't care. They didn't think about it. Or they just felt that they couldn't be successful doing that. And unfortunately for those folks, it may be too late now. But you know what? In all reality, as long as they pick up their pieces, they can go and do anything they want. So I hope that, you know, looking back at those people, as well as myself, that perhaps the future will entail something good for everyone. And even though I look at things in a rather negative light, I feel that a lot of my actions are done out of good faith and optimism for the future. And I truly feel that if you try and you care, you ask for help, you seek out knowledge, you'll become something. And if you don't become something right away, that's fine. But over time, you're going to add enough tools to your toolbox that you're going to become something of value, something that people want to listen to, someone that people find value in. And I may not be there myself at this point in time, but I certainly feel that I'm on the path to hopefully one day being someone that everyone can look to and go, you know what, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to do. And ask those questions to me. How did you get where you're at? Or how did you become successful? It's not about doing it just for yourself, but at the same time it's understanding yourself, of course, while trying to be yourself. You can't change who you are. You can't change any of that. But you certainly can look out for yourself, and you can certainly become something as long as you persevere and you look at what's important. And I hope over time I can produce some more insightful, maybe less generic, because this seems fairly generic. So this is a good introduction, if you will, and kind of give you some different perspectives. I have a number of different experiences I would love to share, a number of different individuals who I've learned from, and maybe I'm not the most entertaining and exciting person in the world. And for goodness sakes, I got two cats laying here, I have a schematic sitting up on one screen, and I have shoes in the background. I mean, I don't seem very exciting. I'm not jumping around doing pranks and doing all that stuff. Maybe, just maybe, I'll connect with some people and make a difference. You know, perhaps my experiences, my vision, and my opinions will help guide someone. And it's weird that I found myself making this, because I'm not a videographer, or whatever you call it, nor am I a YouTuber or any of those things. However, I thought it was interesting that I'm always thinking about how to become better, how to succeed, and how I've gotten where I'm at. And perhaps it's time that I start sharing that with others and collaborate and understand each other better and ultimately understand ourselves better. You know, don't want to leave this video as just a boring generic ending, but I really don't have anything else at this point in time that's exciting or fun. But I assure you I'm going to have some more to come that will certainly be of value, of entertainment, and perhaps help you guide yourself to success, or just better understand yourself and those around you so you can better help them and ultimately help yourself. Again, I'll certainly be sharing a number of different stories, experiences, as well as sharing opinions and thoughts, and reaching out and asking for everyone else's opinions and stories, because maybe even if we have 5 people watch this video, at least those 5 could maybe come back and say something worthwhile that we could all take away from. Again, I'm not some rich schmoozer who's talking about this, that, and everything, trying to make a buck off you. I really don't care. I just feel like it provides value, and hopefully down the road we can get to know each other better, and we can certainly help each other. So this is Jason. We'll leave it at that. Make it nice and simple. Short 10 minutes, something along those lines. I'm going to go back to being a nerd, or whatever you want to call me, by looking at some old tube diagram and schematic that I'm working on. But at the end of the day, I hope everyone has a great new year and a fantastic future that perhaps we can help each other build on. Take care, everybody.